Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christine and this is It's Just Christine. For today's video, I'm going to be planning for the week of April 21st to the 27th. And I'm using this kit from Dash of Sun. It's called Bunny Trail. This is in her gold foil. And then on the quote box, it says, "Hopping down the bunny trail." So here are the full boxes. And then we have the functional boxes. And then we have the bottom washi with the decos on the side. I really love this kind of like mix washi pattern that she's having. The bottom washi, and then here is the large deco, and then the alcohol ink swatches. This is in her washi paper. I really love this one because of this gingham pattern. I think I'm just really in love with the blue and white gingham pattern. I also grabbed the extended washi sampler sheet because I really wanted those fences and the florals. And she usually has two different overlays with her collections, so I grabbed the gingham and the wood grain. I didn't really know how I was going to use it. All I know is that I really want it in my spread. I also grabbed some pages, well, the floral page of her deco sheet and the foil sampler sheet. Yeah, so if you guys are interested in this, please stay tuned. Okay, so the first time I saw this kit, I really wasn't going to purchase it. I'm not really an Easter fan type of kit, but when I saw this, I was like, oh, this looks really pretty and really cute. I'm very much a sucker for like gingham patterns, so when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is definitely such a pretty kit to use for April. And I'm so glad I got it because I love how this turned out. I've been having kind of an issue of how I've been planning lately. I think I was like in the middle of a kind of weird rut going on when I planned with this kit. I was very indecisive with a lot of things. You guys are gonna see me kind of like put down things, take off things. I tried to kind of edit that out as much as I could, but sometimes there's just things that I can't edit out. The one thing that I did know that I really want for this spread is I wanted to use the gingham pattern overlay and the wood grain pattern. The wood grain, I was really going to reserve it for a different spread, but the more I look at it, the more I really want to use it with this kit. I just didn't know for the life of me how I was going to use the overlays, because I was like, okay, if I put it like if I did a double sidebar, I feel like I'm not going to like how one is a wood grain and then the other one is a gingham. So then I was like, maybe I'll just use the wood grain as a backdrop for my full boxes, and then my gingham will just be a it will be something that I'll just pull up in the spread. What happened is that I do lay down everything, and I wasn't very happy that I didn't have any of the gingham, except for the ones in my, like, you know, like when I had the base layout, I was like, okay, I really want this gingham overlay somewhere. So I don't think I show you guys how I use the gingham, and then you guys are just going to see the gingham on it. There was a point in this spread where like I stopped it, and then I left it alone for a couple of days, and then I came back. Unfortunately, there were just some parts of the spread where I didn't hit the play or the record button to record the things being laid out, and unfortunately the first few, like the Monday and the Tuesday, I think wasn't recorded, and how I also used the gingham pattern, but you guys are going to see it. Either way, it's gonna happen with the day by day. yeah, so here I was just, like I said, I wanted to use um this kind of like wood backdrop here, and I really like how this turned out. I do use the overlay this way again the next week because I had another dash kit, and for some weird reason I've been buying the dash overlays quite a bit because I really love how they look. um and the one for next week is just as gorgeous and pretty as the kit that I'm using now. um all in all, I think this was a pretty good, like, it turned out pretty well. um but like I said, it was difficult for me to start the spread. um I don't know if it's just me, but usually when in the beginning, before I even start filming, I usually just put my spread, not my spread, my planner down, and then I put the stickers around me that I'm going to be using for that particular spread, and then I try to visualize how things look like. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, and then I just stare at it for like hours on end. And I kid you not, I do sometimes stare at this for hours on end. And then if something that just doesn't pop in my head, I just start and wing it because I can't. I need to just start it and then see how everything goes, and then that's when I kind of start to get the rhythm of things, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Um, but that's how I've been planning lately, and kind of like how I've been planning before either way. But lately it's just been one of those days where like I'm very like unsure of how I should start things. But I think this is where that more is better. And I feel like the less stickers I have now, the harder it is for me to start. Because I try to visual something that I want, and sometimes it doesn't get there because I don't have as many sheets to work with, as many stickers to work with, if that makes sense. That's why for the most part, a lot of my spreads are very full when it's like the Pretty Pink Co, because I usually have like the full bundles, or if it's a dash, because I can kind of like go crazy with her shop and purchase the things that I kind of need and want, since I do PR for her, and I do get a little bit of a discount, especially if you guys use my code. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a it's been a little bit of a difficulty when I have to work with less stickers, which wasn't my problem before. And I've been planning a little bit more simple back then, and now it's just very more, it's like a very kind of decorative planning than actually planning. So that's probably the reason why. um but yeah, I, like I said, I really like how this turned out, and I'm really happy that I got to use like most of the stickers that I have. Like, I totally took advantage of those washi sampler. I believe I used like all of it. Yeah, I think I used all of it. The only thing I didn't really use is like the narrow trims on the actual base kit. But the sampler, like the washi sampler, I practically used like all of the ones that was in the washi sampler. I'm trying to see if I have this the the leftovers, but I have no clue. Like, I just cleaned my table too, and I put my leftovers away somewhere, and I just don't know where I put them. But I'm glad. I'm really happy when I do use my stickers, because they are like, I buy them for a reason, so I do want to use them. So here is where I use kind of like the fashion girl. So I use one on this side and then I use the other one on the other side. And I really, really love these fashion girls. They're so gosh darn cute and pretty, and I really love how they both turned out. Um, I didn't really have a focal on this spread. I just really want to be able to utilize the stuff that I have, and I think it turned out pretty good. I really like how the spread is. It's it's very full. Like it's very like there's a lot of stickers there, but at the same time it was a way that it's pleasing to the eye, if that makes sense to you guys. It makes sense in my head, so sorry if it doesn't make sense to anyone else. So anyways, I just go on here and keep decorating the things that I have. And like I said, I just try to use as many of the stickers as there is in the kit. And yeah, I think I went a little bit crazy with all the gold foil, but it still turned out really nice. I keep carrying my own chair, but like no one else is gonna carry my own chair except for me, so therefore I'm just gonna keep telling you guys that this spread looks really nice. I'm also glad that I got the functional foil sampler, because I really like these bunny trim and headers that she had going on here. It's very simple, but it adds that little Easter spread in the kit. Here I start putting the Easter eggs that was in the large deco, but then when I got to this page, I realized that the base page has Easter eggs that has foils. So what I did was I actually had to take all of it back out again and use the one that has foil, because one, it has foil, and then two, it was a lot smaller. So I still have to kind of add in the date scripts. So therefore, I thought the smaller one would just look a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner, and it's not as it doesn't cover the florals as much as the bigger ones. Yeah, so here is where I just use the foiled Easter eggs, and then I go in with the date scripts, which also is part of the functional foil sampler that you can add on to the kit from Dash of Sun. I like this I really like this, what do you call this, the font that she uses in this spread, because it totally works with the kits. I don't really like the fact that when you purchase a kit, all of the date covers are like scripts, like cursive fonts. I prefer that they would match how the spread, like not the spread, the kit is, if that totally gives you any indication of what I'm trying to say. But yeah, not all kits will look good with cursive fonts. So I like that Dash of Sun does kind of use different fonts in her scripts, in her fonts, in her date covers. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. So here we also have like some gold foils of the grass, and I thought kind of like putting it at the bottom where the fence is really cute. And then I just kind of scatter these butterflies. I don't have enough butterflies anymore, so I went very light-handed on them. I don't know why I kind of went off the scene here, but here is where I kind of like changed the background of the gingham, and now I'm going day by day. But like I said, I didn't even film the first 2 days, actually the first 2 days of the week. Yeah, so let me just go with the day by day. Okay, so on Monday is one of my early shifts, but I woke up a little bit late on this day because I had a slight fever. The funny thing is, I still went to work. I get really busy at work if I miss a day or two, so I prefer to go in. I know I shouldn't have gone in. I did isolate myself in a little cubicle, so I was not near anybody and nobody went near me. I was done quite late on this day, but it didn't really get any better the next day because the next day I was even more sick. And yet I kind of pushed myself to go to work. It was pretty busy, but I also, like I said, stayed and isolated myself in my little tiny room. Um, I just grabbed pizza for lunch. I really wasn't that hungry, but usually when I'm not feeling well, I try to still eat because I tend to get a little crankier. So, to save the trouble of everybody, I just had to eat something. And then after that, I did go home a little bit earlier because, like I said, I wasn't really feeling that well. On Wednesday, I had completely lost my voice, which is a totally sad thing to happen to someone who talks forever. But anyways, I lost my voice that whole day, so I was basically shut in my little room yet again. I did I kind of went into work because it was my boss's birthday and I was the one who was preparing the surprise for her, so I didn't want to miss that. So I kind of went in, but when she found out I was sick, we just celebrated really fast and then I went home. So it was a very early shift for me. Usually I would stay late, but everybody was just like forcing me to go home. On Thursday, I actually just went to work quickly. I think I was at work for like 2, 3 hours. I had to finish some stuff for work, so I did that. And after that, um, I left and then I got my car fixed because I was hearing this random noise in my car. At this point, I kind of had my voice back. It was very scratchy and very throaty. I sounded like someone who was, I don't know, who's been smoking their whole entire life. But I was able to get my car fixed. Well, my husband got my car fixed, but and then, since I haven't been feeling well that whole entire week, my husband decided to treat me out to one of my favorite Filipino restaurants, which is Jollibee. If you guys never have tried it, definitely check it out. It's just um, deep fried chicken with fries and rice, and it's so good. And anyways, on Friday, it was actually our monthly meeting and our social. So I was okay enough to actually go into work. So we had our meeting first, and then we left a bit early from work and had kind of like an early dinner. And after that, we also did escape room, which was really fun. Actually, it was my first ever escape room, and it was a really good team building type of activity. So if you guys have a smaller group and you guys want to do some kind of team activity, I would highly suggest an escape room. It was really fun. And then after that, we just kind of well, we went home our separate ways, and it was basically a lazy night for me. I think this was my only day that I was able to kind of fully rest at the end of the night, so I took advantage of it. The next day, which is Saturday, our new washing machine came, and I was really happy that we have a new washing machine. Like, my old one was like, it came with a house, which is like 20 years old. So I'm really happy that we got a new washing machine and it was hooked up on that day. We also got one of my friend's husband come in and change our winter tires. And then I also got my haircut on this day. Saturday was a very eventful day for me. I went kind of really short with my haircut, but the funny thing is, I don't know what happened, but I feel like after my haircut, my scalp was just like super, super itchy. And it stayed super itchy for like at least 2 to 3 months. Even now, like, so this is April, May, June. We're now currently at the end of July. It's not as itchy as it was before, but it's still kind of like you can still feel it. It was just all along like my bottom scalp, and it was, I don't know, it was really, really crazy. It was one of those itchiness where like it would just travel across your scalp. So I was like, oh my god, I was telling my husband, I'm like, please don't tell me I have lice, because if I do, I would freak out. But no, it was all clear, it was all good. And it was just literally my scalp got like irritated or something. So that was that. And then on Sunday morning, we woke up a bit earlier because we had to go to church at 11. And then after church, we watched my youngest cousin play volleyball. She's in a volleyball, I can't, is it a volleyball league? Volleyball team. It's a volleyball team. And they did fairly well. They did not win, but they were the younger group out of like the high school kids. So like she's technically going into high school, so she was part of the younger group of high school students. And then we went to the Asian mall afterwards where we ate lunch, and also I was able to have bubble tea and my egg waffle. If you guys have ever tried egg waffle, you guys know how amazing egg waffle is. And then after that, we went home and we had a very quiet night. I started a new book called Fatal First Edition. I'm really into mystery novels, and if I really want a quick read, I usually do a cozy mystery. If you guys have never heard of cozy mysteries, definitely Google it. It's like a very soft version of like mystery novels, and it's really, really fun, and it's there's different kinds of cozy mysteries. So if you ever get your niche within the cozy mysteries, then you will love it. And then I binge read series. I don't binge watch shows, but I do binge read cozy mysteries. So definitely it's one of those it's kind of like my favorite thing to do at night. Yeah, but anyways, that was basically my whole entire week. I actually talked as not as long as the video, so there's still more parts to this video, and I don't really know what I'm doing because I feel like, oh, it's because I added on these accents. So this is from the Pretty Pink Co. and Sadie stickers. Like I said, I'm kind of running out with my butterflies, but I went a little bit simple with this because I wanted to still have a little bit more, but I think I just decided to finish the whole entire sheet on this. I also wanted to use some kind of florals, and since I didn't really have florals that match this kit, I just decided to use the one from Sadie stickers, which I feel goes a lot with different florals anyways, and I'm really, really loving this tiny florals that she has. I'm still going on with the butterflies, but now I move on to florals. I did show it in the beginning, and it's just those simple, I don't know, they don't really have any type of flowers. It's more of, you know, like they just look like flowers. But yeah, so then I just put that all around, and there's really nothing much to say. like I said, like I really like how this turned out. I'm happy to have something like this where like it's a pretty full looking kit, but at the same time it's kind of structured but kind of not. I don't know how to use, I don't know how to explain this spread. But yeah, if you like this video, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you so much.